So now that we have found the bottom part of the arm, we go from the entry point and we do the same, but in the opposite direction. And as we said before, the top condition is armpit height. That's the result. We have points that represent a kind of bone, but all these points won't be used. We just want to select some of them to place the joints. So here we can see a side view of it. And if you see in the hand at the bottom, we have a little jump between 2 points. It's not a big issue because, as I said, we won't use all the points. What is really important is at each slice, the point has to be really well centered inside the slice, so it will be okay. So now we have to find the shoulder. To do this, we take some of the points at the top of the arm, and we use a direction vector to cast a ray. When we have the intersection point, we take half the distance, and here we have the shoulder. Okay, so now we do the same for the leg. And to find the hip, we just have to take a little ratio from the total length of the leg. Okay, so that's the result for all the body, the legs, the arms, and the spine. And now, how can we put this armature inside this mesh? So as I said before, the idea is to find a solution to choose some specific points. And to do this, we're going to use some ratios. I mean by ratios that, for example, in the armature, the legs, the bones of the leg have a length that is relatively, have a ratio compared to the other bones of the legs. And this ratio is the same in the character. So this way we can find which point is the more relevant. We do this for the leg, for the spine, and also for the arms. So now we have all these points to place our joints. There still have some issues. For example, here if I see the head on the original armature, we can see that the angle here is not the same that the one we have found with our method. So to correct this issue, because if we use it like this during animation, the head will shrink and it's not acceptable. So what we are going to do is use the direction of the first bone, scale it, apply the same angle, and then cast a ray to place the bone as it's meant to be. We have the same problem for the foot. The angle are not the same. So what we're going to do is we use this angle, we put it at the place where the last bone of the leg hand, and then I'm going to cast some rays until we find the longest ray. Then we cast a ray in the other direction to place the heel, and then we have here the joint between the foot bone and the leg bone. Okay, so here is the final result. It's a fully rigged character, and it's the end for our method, but we decided to do a plugin to show it, and to have something really interesting. What we had to do is to link it with motion capture. So what's motion capture actually is only a file who has an armature and bones, and for each frame of the animation we're going to have rotation for the bones. So the idea is to animate the character by moving the armature. So what we do is that we take a random frame inside the BVH, we cancel all the rotation so the frame is in the rest position. Then we apply rotation, scaling, translation to place the armature at the specific points we found before, the joint. Then we cancel all the rotation we did, so the character is placed in the T position, in this rest position. Then again, we link the armature to the mesh, and now we can animate our character. So I will let Romain conclude.
Okay, so here are some results. So with this Ninja of 800 faces, it takes 4 seconds to rig. With Pip-Boy, 8,000 faces, 9 seconds. With Beardman, 2,000 faces, 4 seconds. So the time cannot depend of the number of faces. but everything is in Python, so it could run faster in something else. And we still have some problem, like the shoulders. Everything has fallen into the neck for this poor Batman. So this is a point that we will have to improve later. And also we like the user to improve the bones placement, which he can do right now. So demo slide, I'm going to show it really quickly. So it works in the 2.63. And we made an add-on in the rigging category here. And what it does is that you will have, when you press T, you will have a new menu who lets you choose a BVH. So now Blender is loading it, and also it's scaling everything to the size of the mesh. So this is mostly the basic BVH loading of Blender. So as you can see, there is an animation up here. Now we're going to select the mesh, the target mesh, rig it. Don't crash, please. Okay, all planned. And now, as you can see, everything is inside, except fingers, who are kind of clumsy because we don't look for fingers. And the next step is to, so what we have done here is to take a random frame, put it back in rest position, and twist it to fit the mesh. Now we are going to cancel again all the rotation to go back into rest position, so we can apply the BVH transformation, the mocap information. And now we can play it. So there is a basic auto weight function for skinning of Blender, and everything is automatic. So this is our work. We have a video. Oh, how many time do we have again?
2 minutes left.
2 minutes. We have a video with other examples. So I don't remember. Come on. So this is Bierman. We have already seen him. Je pense. Hein? We have a random woman. A man. The important thing is that the arm position doesn't really matter for the rigging. It's really flexible from the position of the mesh, or if it's cartoons like with a big head or thing like that, it should work. It should always work, as long as he has not crossed his arm like that, or who has really a pose he should not have for rigging. And the ninja. So that's over. If you have any question now or later. Yes.
Do you plan on having pictures?
Actually, we have been working with BVH from Carnegie Mellon University, and all the BVH that we have been working with do not have any machine for fingers. So we decided not to focus on it, but maybe in the future, yes, it will be an interesting thing to do, yes.